Hello, my name is Family Player, and welcome to Chapter 19 of my 0% LTC of Justice and Pride. Today's map is a Seas map, and we start off by selling a red gem, as well as giving an angelic robe to our newest recruit, Phineas. We have two main objectives in this chapter. We want to ferry Adorn and our dancer over to the gate, as well as kill the boss along the way. Well, that's our main objective. And our two side objectives are to talk to Walter, a mini-boss on the right side of the map, with Melinda, and as well as visit a village at the bottom of the map, or bottom left of the map, in order to get a new unit. We start off by rigging a sleep onto the boss. This is extremely important for the rest of the strategy of this map, because we want to have her asleep so that she will not sleep us in return, as she has a sleep staff and she will be more than willing to use it. And obviously, if any of our units get put to sleep, it puts our strategy in general in a lot of trouble. The beginning of the map, we actually get to see quite a bit of how useful relics can be. If it weren't for relics, several of the kills you see on this first turn would be a lot less reliable, or just not possible in one round. Phineas, in a few moments, is going to attack an archer at 2 range. He's going to do this because he needs to move far enough south so he can get to a certain position on turn at the end of turn 2. I should talk about Phineas's personal skill. I pointed it out at the end of the last map, I believe, but what makes it so unique is that it gives him 4 speed and 4 resistance on enemy phase, which can be extremely useful for obvious reasons. It's important that we make sure to grab the skill, power, and skill and power relic from our guys before heading on over, as the files will not be returning to the left side of the map. It's also important to note that that Falcon Knight that Nissa killed a second ago needs to have 18 or 17 speed, basically just round down in terms of stat variance, so that Nissa can double her. There will also be a hero who is on this map that is in the south that you can see currently, who needs to also round down in terms of speed, so that Phineas can double him and deal more damage on this enemy phase to him than otherwise. As you can see, being able to deal over half of that hero's health and damage is extremely useful, as it makes this following player phase a lot easier on us. there was honestly not much to talk about for a good portion of this map, as it's fairly straightforward. So in the meantime, I guess I'll talk about some of the treasures that will be missing this chapter. And on the right side is another village with a sword slayer. The sword slayer obviously would be pretty useful, but it is not required by any means. It's actually fairly important. I should mention where I put Carmen this turn, because there was an Eclipse sorcerer on the right side of the map, who we do not want to be targeting Phineas, as that will cause him to have a chance of death on the enemy phase, as slight as it may be. Here we're setting up for the boss kill, as well as the C's that will follow it. We'll be making... The boss has extremely high speed and is on a gate, so obviously she will have a lot of void. As you can also see, the enemies get in our way to getting to the village, which makes this bottom left part of the map probably the hardest part to figure out completely. Thankfully, and while you will see it work out even with some rather iffy hit rates, the chance of all this working out is actually quite higher than it appears, thanks to just there actually being a couple units that I show later that are off screen at the moment that can run down and assist at least slightly. Specifically, those being Tabitha. This is Orwin. He's not going to be doing really anything this map, but he will be useful in that he has the very useful Seal Speed skill, which obviously will be extremely useful. Here we get to see why we wanted Melinda to talk to Walter, and that's to get the Speed Relic, which, as you might guess, is extremely useful, as it gives 5 speed. Here we go ahead and set up Adoran to seize the throne, because we want her to be in Charisma range for the boss killer, Nissa, as well as use Richter's Intimidate to lower the boss's avoid even more. With all of these, she gets a pretty consistent hit rate, around high 50s. She needs to get at least 1 crit and 1 hit, and she also has Adept to back her up. So it's actually a lot more reliable than it otherwise would be. Her hit rate can actually be as low as in the 20s without all of these buffs, with the Skill Relic, Charisma, and Intimidate. And that is the chapter in 3 turns. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.